This is a 2026 Jeep Grand Wagoneer Summit Reserve. And if you don't know, they refreshed it for 2026. Now, I did borrow this from Ken Garff, Chrysler Jeep Dodge Ram here in Sandy, Utah. And look who I have today, Ezra. So if you would like to buy one of these, what's your number?
801-923-8003.
Yeah, so just so you know, he's always helping with keys. So if you would like to buy anything from him, be sure to text him. So let's jump into it. Thank you, bro.
Yeah.
So here is the window sticker. Base price is $93,515. And then here's a short listing of the standard equipment. Now, starting off the options is the paint for $695. It's a high gloss black. And this does have a customer preferred package for $6,000, which is basically the Summit Reserve. So you guys see everything that comes in there. 23 speaker, Macintosh. And then all-weather mats, rear seat entertainment for $25.95, and then destination is $27.95 with a total price of $106,220. And then here are the 50 kilometers off to the side. Thoughts on the front end? Very, very futuristic. You have this light bar that goes across the grille. Accent light down below, so no more fog lights. And I'm okay with that because these headlights, amazing. Also, they added this, what they call titanium, down below. It's like a gray with some metallic flake in there. Big front grille. You can see the camera, adaptive cruise control, parking sensors all the way off to the side. However, if you're looking at this top tier Summit Reserve, it looks exactly the same as what used to be called the Wagoneer. So they got rid of the Wagoneer nameplate. And I think that was a bad idea for the people who are looking to spend $100K. There's not a lot of differences between this and the lower trim levels. Now, you do get these exclusive wheels, which is a carryover from last year. And that's not a bad thing because I think these wheels look great. Out back, taillights, again, sequential turn signals, I like that. But they're the exact same taillights as what you see on the regular Grand Wagoneer. So it doesn't have a big difference anymore on the look. I could tell the difference between a Wagoneer and Grand Wagoneer from the 25 and earlier SUVs. But for this one, I really have to look for it. And I think that was kind of a mess up on Jeep's part. But the biggest issue I have with this is the powertrain. $105,000 is a lot cheaper compared to what it was a few years back. Remember, this thing was like almost $120,000, especially if you got the L version, right? But you only get the option for the standard output powertrain. And I don't know why they did that. It makes no sense whatsoever. I would even be okay with them bringing back the 6.4 liter Hemi, personally. But regardless of it, it is what it is. Now, again, the front end, they fixed it. It's more futuristic. It's more modern. It works. You also see on the hood, they don't have that nice little accent. Gone. I also noticed that you don't have the soft closed door, so like it doesn't pull in. There, does it? No. It does not. I love those big old running boards. I don't know. The good news is a lot cheaper than it was just a year ago, for sure. I like that. But I feel as though they kind of went backwards a little bit. So thank God the price is a little bit lower. That's all I'll say. Now, with that being said, this is still one of the best full-size SUVs on the market today. Remember, this has 4-corner air suspension, and the ride of this thing is amazing. It does ride on Pirelli tires, which are the Scorpion Verdes 285/45/22. And notice the wheel. You have like that titanium color that matches the front, and you have these black pockets. I like the style of the wheel. I'm glad they carried these over. You have more of that titanium right there. You guys see the badging. This took a hit too because remember on the Grand Wagoneer of 2025, it had the bolder Grand Wagoneer badging. More of the titanium here. You have your turn signals, more cameras, and that probably gives you an animation on the ground. Smart key system for the front and rear doors. One more time for those big running boards. Look how big those things are. And when you have the key in your pocket, they will actually drop down for you automatically. I like the gloss black around the windows, more titanium on the roof rails, and they're the only full-size SUV that gives you that tri-pane glass on the roof. One benefit of this being the standard output is you don't have to burn premium fuel with this one. They do hide the hitch out back, and you guys saw on the side parking sensor, so when you're pulling into a tight space, it will protect the sides a lot better. There is a washer for this camera and for the backup camera here. I like the styling of the Grand Wagoneer. I think it looks really nice. And then power lift gate, great storage behind the third row. And check this out, you don't have to hold the buttons like the competitors. They just go down, and on top of that, they give you the carpet higher up too. So when you're throwing stuff in here, right, plastic is all beat up. I like that they give you the carpet. It just gives it a nice upscale look. And let's see, you have an all-weather mat, you have a carpeted mat. Those all-weather ones were an option, so just keep that in mind. And then just below, a little bit of storage right there. And overall, really nice accents back here. 12-volt power. You have the, I guess you can call this suede or Alcantara, whatever you want to call it. On the roof, it's on the A, B, and C pillars. And if you want to put that third row back up, like I said, you don't have to hold any buttons. And one thing I like about the Jeep is they do give you lights on the back of the lift gate. You also get lights here, and they give you about 3 seconds to get from underneath the lift gate here. This is the inline-6 twin-turboed engine, good for 420 horsepower, 468 pound-feet of torque. It's also known as the Hurricane engine. Now, I will say, this thing has a lot of power, so in the future I have to put this up against the 6.2 liter from GM, and obviously I have to put it up against the Ford Expedition because they still have a high output engine. So we're going to be putting this up against that as well. So 8-speed transmission behind it. Let's go ahead and check out the interior. So here's where the Grand Wagoneer has its strengths. Interior. They still have the best interior in the game. Now here's what I'll tell you. If you can find yourself a used Grand Wagoneer, I found one with high mileage. I didn't have a chance to film it because it was in for service and it was someone's car. So I just looked inside really quickly and saw how immaculate the interior was. I think it had like 80-something thousand miles, and the leather pretty much looked like this. It was a little dingy, obviously, but it looked perfect still. And look at the amount of cows they killed for this thing. Leather, 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 leather. And even down here, you have this soft material for the door down below. Most people just put plastic there. They actually put leather here. Macintosh speaker grill looks amazing. You have like this bright silver or satin here and on the door handle. Also, really nice graphic. And I love this interior color too. All your seating controls are right here. I believe these are 24-way seats, by the way. So you can change all the bowstring. You also have some features on the headrest. These headrests are also powered too, by the way. You have to have it on though. You have the 2-spoke steering wheel, power. Here's some of your lighting controls. All this is in a soft touch material. A lot of piano black on here. All leather wrapping on the dash. You can see that stitching in the center. Let's go ahead and check out the passenger side. Perforated leather, and they do give you a thigh support on both sides. There is a passenger screen. All this is wrapped in a soft material. You have like this velvet material. It says Grand Wagoneer, and look at the gold accent. I like that. It matches the stitching. All this is wrapped in leather. You can see that suede pretty much all throughout. And here's that center console too. Has a cool box right there, a little bit of storage. I don't see that they put any power plugs in the top here. And then out back, let's go ahead and see what they've done. This one did have the optional screens, but look at this. I don't know why manufacturing this is not a big deal. I'm glad that Jeep still gives this to you. It just gives you more privacy and more comfort if the sun is really hot. Now back here, this is all a soft touch material on the door, so they don't skimp out back here. Now if you want to put the seat back, it is manual. I probably would skip the screens, but for some people they like to have this extra piece to keep people entertained, especially if you have young kids. You have this screen to pretty much control these seats. Let's go ahead and put it in accessory mode. So on this screen, if you want to set up the remote, you can see your Fire TV, and it is scanning for networks. I'm not going to spend too much time on this, but I wanted to show it to you really quickly. On this center screen, however, you see you have heated and ventilated seats, 4-zone climate control. If you get a Denali Ultimate, which costs more than this, you would not get those features. Down below, you have 4 USBs, Type A's and Type C's. You have a 12 volt and 115 volt power plug. Hopefully you guys can see right here. Okay. And out back, power air vents are off to the side, so you do have really great headroom. There's a passenger cam right there. You can close off that sunroof. USBs on both sides, 60/40 bench in the rear. And I mean, that leather still has that great stitch pattern, all that good stuff. Perforated leather, so it's going to be comfortable back there, except for that middle seat that does not have perforated leather. But yeah, you pretty much have great storage back here, deep right here, and cup holders. Let's go ahead and jump back over to the driver's seat. It's a little hot in here, by the way. I like that it shows you the front and rear, because this is synced together, by the way. So you have these large screens. On the side, you can turn on your ventilated seats, heated seats, or steering wheel. And you could change the zone too. I like that. Now you guys see around the push button start, they do wrap this in leather. Dual climate control, obviously. It's going to be 4-zone. Now you have a screen pretty much everywhere in this SUV. You also have the heads-up display. This is a screen basically for your rearview mirror. Home links up there. Place for your sunshades. There's so much stuff in this thing. Air suspension can be controlled right there. If you want to turn on the passenger screen, you have that to a halt. Parking sensors can be disabled. It has self-parking, traction control, caution lights, lane keep assist. This auto hold function, if you're at a stoplight, it'll hold the brake for you. And if you want to turn off that stop start function, that's available down here. Now, if you want more storage, you're in luck, because back here you have USBs, 12 volt power plug, HDMI, and a wireless charger for your phone. And I like that. I mean, most people probably wouldn't even know that that's back there. Now, if you want to control your seat massagers, you do have a button on the door here. But yeah, if you want to change the lumbar, that's available too. You have your climate control, you have your rear climate control too, and you see 4 zones, so you can change all of that. And on this screen, you'll see your 360 like that. And if you don't want all these screens on, right, some people probably would prefer to have maybe this screen off sometimes. You can even turn this one off too if you like, so you can just get rid of all that brightness if you don't want it. Now you can dim this down if you like to. If you tap it, it comes back on. If you have a long trip ahead, they do provide for your phones 2 devices. So if you want to have 2 phones hooked up to Apple CarPlay, that is a possibility. If you want to disable that, you can. Also here's a few things that you can set up. There's a dashboard, like they have off-road pages. So if you want to check out how great this does off-road, you can lift it up in this off-road setting, and it does show you in here what's going on. But yeah, there's so much features in this thing. Like I couldn't tell you how much stuff is in here. I mean, there's just so much. I like that it shows you the altitude, by the way, in the off-road pages. But yeah, if you go into your settings, there's so many things that you can customize. I did check in here to see if it had the soft closed doors, but I did not see that for doors and locks. It would probably be here, and I didn't see it. But yeah, there's so many things that you can set up, customize, like even for like your hands-free power lift gate, you turn that on, and it gives you like an eye icon to show you exactly what it is. And up here, it's like a quick menu. Some people don't like the sensory for this, so they rather just hit the screen, so they give you that option still. But overall, this is a nice SUV. By the way, I found those power plugs. There's a Type A, Type C USB still in here. I just couldn't see it from that side. But yeah, the seat is very comfortable. These seats are not super soft, but they're not super stiff. They're like almost closer to the stiffer side, I would say. And on this screen here, you guys will see there's a lot of information that you can see on this one. You can see navigation full screen. There's a screen setup. You can set up the heads-up display. A lot of different information you can see, like your fuel economy, some of your temperatures if you plan on towing a trailer. This is your oil level now, so you don't have a dipstick anymore. And this does, I believe, have like autonomous driving too, so active driving assist, okay? It might not be hands-free, so be sure to do your research there. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the numbers on the door, and then I will pretty much end this video. Axle rating out front is going to be 3,900 pounds. The rear is 4,530. Gross vehicle rating is 7,700 pounds. 22 by 9 wide wheels. All-in payload capacity is 1,485 pounds. And they recommend you run the tire pressure at 40 psi front and rear. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. As I said, I know I was a little hard on this Grand Wagoneer, but I think that Jeep should have not gone away from the last recipe. I think it was perfectly done. The refresh is definitely welcome, but I think that it should be a little bit of a difference between spending 100 grand versus 60,000. Just my opinion, just my opinion. But let me know you guys' thoughts in the comment section. See you guys soon.